Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be fairly upbeat tonight, so this is gonna be
good.
something.
Well, yeah, I'm upbeat, but I don't know why. All right. So you would want to talk about everybody probably saw this announcement. I got it in my email box and I didn't even open it but before, like, it was just all over the place. And then I looked and it was the same thing everyone was tweeting about. And it was this announcement that AEW announces expansion of talent relations and development team. And I find it really interesting. The opening paragraph, which again, a lot of people are just going to read the headline. They're not going to bother reading the whole thing. And it says roles for Sonjay Dutt, QT Marshall, Pat Buck, and Tony Schiavone will increase under expanded talent relations team. Madison Rayne joining, and this is their exact wording, to coach women's division. Now, I read that to say, well, she is the one and only coach in the women's division. I mean, that's how that read to me. And I believe a lot of people read it that way. But when you actually read the press release further down, it's basically saying she's joining AEW as a coach in the women's division. So, which insinuates that there's more than one.
Well, there are agents and things as well there. I mean, I know Dean Malenko works a lot with the women there, and I believe Jerry Lynn does as well.
And I believe Dustin too.
Yeah, and Dustin.
Yeah, and Kenny when he's around. So, and the other thing, Sonjay Dutt is the vice president of production and creative coordination. QT Marshall is the vice president of show and creative coordination. Pat Buck is the vice president of talent development. And Tony Schiavone is a senior producer and special advisor to talent. So what this reads like to me, and I won't read the whole thing, but it feels like basically Tony is adding a layer between himself and the talent, so that, and this is what we talked about before, like he needed to do something about talent relations and HR, and this seems to be at least providing lip service to that.
It's at least lip service. I don't know how much. I mean, I like the expansion of it, and I also like. Look, I had mentioned this before. He was using quite a few aspects of the Jaguars organization in his day-to-day dealings. I like this. I like. Someone made a point to me that I thought was pretty good. It's like, well, it's almost as if TK is admitting, hey, maybe we have a few too many shows and properties here and he needs some help. Yeah. And I think that's a good, positive thing as well. I think he's taken some of the talent coming after him in the media to heart. I do. And I think it's good to address your weak points in addition to, you listen to criticism and praise about half of what you should. And it keeps you even keeled. I mean, if you listen to praise way too much, you're gonna think you're doing way too well. If you listen to criticism way too much, you're gonna think you're doing horrible when you're not. So it's one of those things where I like this. I did kind of laugh though. It's like vice presidents. It's like in a corporate structure, there's always like 20 useless vice presidents.
I mean, there's like 12. That I can think of, and those are the ones we know of, and there's probably more, behind the scenes that people.
When in doubt, make somebody a vice president of something. But I'm intrigued by the Madison Rayne hire. I don't think she's ever been in this kind of position before. I know she's done broadcasting. I know she's. I mean, from what I remember, I might be wrong on this. She's genuinely well liked wherever she's gone. I believe WWE. The people there when she went for Mae Young Classic 2 really liked her a lot too, and I think at that time she was still. I mean, I think they were almost on the verge of offering her something backstage, but she still wanted to perform at that time.
I thought they did.
That you might be correct on that. I'm going on memory here. I did not look anything up, but I mean, she's. It's one of those things where like a couple people I was talking to were like, "Well, she's never done this kind of thing before, and who is she to be a trainer?" Blah blah blah. I go, "Look, she's just gonna be on the team." And it's good to have a couple of former women's talent on the team, especially when you're trying to grow a women's division against a company that has a pretty good women's division. So,
I would suspect that her job does not involve teaching them how to wrestle.
No,
it's more about presentation and performing for the camera and.
I mean, she might be there giving her thing, but it's not going to be just her necessarily. Right. So yeah, I mean, and you never know. People can grow into roles. I mean, just because they haven't done it before, it doesn't mean they're not good at it. I think some people were assuming quite a bit from that, but I mean, it's good. I like Sonjay a lot. I'm a little my only twinge of concern is that there's a lot of ex WWE guys.
I was actually thinking there's a lot of ex TNA people.
Well, TNA by way and who went to WWE and now are part of this, because I know Buck was there. I know Sonjay was there. I know
Madison Rayne, obviously.
Madison Rayne, but not as a producer. All I need is Abyss to complete the set, really.
Christopher Daniels even was there forever. So
at Impact, I was thinking also went from Impact to WWE.
Oh yeah. But it's but I mean, again, like there's only so many people out there who have done this on a national level. So if I had to think, like I would, again, you don't know who's available, but Mickie James would be the one that would.
Mickie James would be good. I think one of the negatives of Triple H coming back, at least for the AEW perspective, is I think Mako Satomura was probably on her way out from being a trainer there. If Vince had kept going the way he was going, and I think she'd be somebody like her would be a real. I mean, like Emi Sakura, I know is working with the women in AEW, or at least at the Nightmare Factory. I think. I think Mako Satomura would have been a feather in AEW's cap.
Emi Sakura is. I mean, I see her a lot, and I mean, I'm sure there's little things she does well, but I don't need. I don't need her teaching people anything, and I don't need to see her on national TV. Let me just leave it at that. Yeah,
you don't know how she is as a trainer.
I don't. No, you're right.
I mean, it's.
No, I'm just talking about her. Like, right. Like, I mean, and that's why I said I'm sure there's little things that she does well.
I mean, because it'll surprise you having been a teacher in the arts. I teach things that I suck at.
Right. Oh yeah.
That's the thing that I know the best is that, I know the things I don't do well, so I teach other people to do them.
The best managers, like you would go into sports, like the best managers and coaches are players that were not actually superstars.
Yeah.
Superstar players generally don't make great managers.
Right.
I mean, there are exceptions, but
I mean, there are notable exceptions. Yeah. But it's one of those things where, being a great player does not necessarily translate to being a great teacher per se.
Yeah.
So,